Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Cat's Cottage. I just got up this morning and I'm going to make some coffee. I'm in the kitchen. I'm going to step you back just a little bit so you can see me make my coffee here. Okay. Take my filter out. Put it in my compost. Okay. This is what I'm doing. I don't have y'all too far back. Oh, get me another towel. I got them over here in this drawer. And these curtains. Hang it here, right here on my stove. This is my coffee cart. This is where I have my coffee. Well, y'all are above my film, above the view. Okay, back over here a little more. There we go. Enter in there with the coffee. Turn her on. I'll wash these bit of dishes here. Ooh, this water's hot. Ooh, that was hot. That took my fingers off. Just to know the hot water heater's working. Okay. Your cup. And some hot water in my cup. Okay, I'm gonna let it sit there a minute and heat up while that's making. Okay. Just check it back. We'll go in here and I'll wait on my coffee to be made. A little bit too low. There we go. Yeah. I had to add me another blanket on my bed last night. For 2 nights, I got in the bed and was so cold and kept saying, "Boy, I need another blanket. Need another blanket." So I put another one on there, a little thin one, but it helped. Whoop, you're going out, aren't you? Hey, these matches, they don't put anything on them anymore. Yeah. Okay. Well, I did say good morning. Did I say welcome to Cat's Cottage? Um, I got there's a lot of new people that have signed on to look around. Thank y'all so much. You know, I don't do this. I don't think I do the same thing. I do some of the same things, but um, I kind of mix it up a little bit. There may be nothing you like here, and then you may find something that you like here. Anyway, uh, some people say, "Oh, it's boring. I've got to go," and I can understand. Uh, but that's my life, isn't it? Now, yesterday I got cut off. I emptied out the files, emptied out my phone and everything, and it was too full, so I emptied it all out and filmed. Seemed to be okay. It was recording, and all of a sudden it just shut off. So, of course, y'all saw that. And if that ever happens, sometimes I've recorded over and over and over. Sometimes I really get irritated and don't do that. Yesterday, I got just tired of it and went ahead and put it on like it was. I figured that y'all would probably know that my phone cut off on me, and I wasn't trying to be rude or anything. So, but that's what happened. And I probably said all I could say about pigs. So let's go in here and get me a cup of coffee. Okay. Yeah, that hot water heated my cup up really nice. Whoa, in the dark here, I almost did it. Oh, I got it right there. I got it right there on the edge. Get over here and drink that down. Oh, see how full I got that? Oh boy, I got it strong too. I like it that way, but I got it strong. Oh, well, I have a pig story. I do. It was out when I moved out, way out into Fayette County. Had 15 acres and had 2 ponds, dug 2 ponds, had a couple of different small gardens, had a little fruit orchard there that all that I planted and put in. Um, I did have a pig, got a pig. I don't know that it was my idea to get a pig. But this pig, this was my second husband. He decided that we were going to have a pig to raise for meat, and it wasn't going to touch the ground because he didn't. He was kind of strange. I'll just tell you, he was strange. If he was eating meat, he wouldn't get near the bone. He was an Irish man. That I don't think that's any kind of Irish. He was a Memphian, and I have noticed that. And if you do, that's if you're that way, okay, that's you. I have noticed that people in this area now in the South, we're not all the same. We're different all over in different areas. We eat different, we act different, uh, but we don't like the same things, and that's kind of odd. It's probably the same way in your area. People are different in different parts of your state or your country. They're different. They even talk different. You can go toward the mountains from here, and you got hill people. They got different little languages. I had a couple of friends that I used to, uh, visit and stuff and go with them places. They had different slangs, and you know, like I guess in the South we're known for saying y'all, and uh, they would say uh, you all, you'uns, no, you'uns, that was it. They'd say you'uns, you know, uh, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way they were raised. But anyway, what was I was talking about eating. Yeah, he wouldn't eat near the bone. He would, you would see, look in his plate when he was through eating. If he had some chicken, he didn't get near the bone. He'd prefer that bone wasn't there. Uh, a piece of beef, steak, or anything, he'd leave that far up into, close to he'd eat on the outside of that bone. Well, I was growing up, my mama, of course, there was a lot of kids in the house, so we ate. She probably had to keep us from eating the bone. But anyway, it wasn't a problem for me cooking a big old pot with the bones, chicken and the bones are in it. Uh, I live with an Italian family, and we'd eat big pig feet. And, they'd be in a pot. How are you going to get the bone out of that? Anyway, I'm not sure where I was going. Oh, I was telling the pig story. Okay. He decided he wanted a pig. And the thought of the pig eating the dirt, eating, well, they're looking for minerals and goodies in that soil. We can't see what they like and smell, but they can see it. Anyway, so he decided to build a pig pen where uh, he built it out of these crates, and it was about as big as this room right here, this little room. And the floor, we put a floor in it, and the poop was, you could rake it or wash it down through, and it would go through. And the pig wasn't in his own poop, and the pig didn't get near the dirt. He didn't want the pig near the dirt. So, and my hair is still snow outside. Anyway, we all fed it, raised it up. It wasn't a pet at all. I know the difference. When you're on a farm, you're good to animals, but you don't name them and take them in and all this kind of stuff like it's a pet. You don't do it. Especially if you're gonna eat it. You don't make the chickens your pet. You don't make uh, you know, the pig's your pet. You might, give them a pet and pat them on the belly or whatever and talk to them. But you don't call them, give them a name. You don't, let them follow you around. No, you don't become close to them. Is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, this pig, and he built this pen behind a little barn type area, so you wouldn't have to, so you wouldn't look at it. You wouldn't see it. You'd have to walk around there and feed the pig. Anyway, so it was at the point to where it needed to be taken to slaughter, and so he decides to get these. He goes over to this hammer factory where they make hammer handles, and he gets these long little sticks. And now they use them in the garden. They use these long little uh, tall. You can get them, put them in the garden. I forget what they call them things. They're real cheap wood, and you can break them easy. And they have knots and they have joints where they'll pop and all that. He got a load of those from that hammer company. They throw the bad stuff out, I guess, and that's what he got up. Anyway, he takes the sticks. He attaches them around his truck bed, a pickup truck, around his truck bed, all the way around. Makes like a cage. It wouldn't hold anything in. All the thing had to do was to lean on it, and it would come out. So anyway, uh, uh, he backed the truck up to the pen, and this is going to be easy. We'll just walk him right up in there. Pig from the ground to the pickup bed. And he said, "Go get me a bucket of feed." And so went and got the bucket of feed. I don't know who got it, me or somebody else. I don't know who got it. But the feed and the pig, nothing to do with it. Uh, it turned out to be laying mash. And it wasn't his food at all. There wasn't any corn in it at all. And this pig, from the pen to the truck, got the smell of that ground. And boy, was it a job getting that pig away from that dirt. Anyway, we finally got it in, got the right kind of feed, and got it in. And there was a spare tire in there in the back, still laying flat. And we had these at the back of the window of the truck. It had these sliding, you have these sliding windows. And anyway, got the pig in there. He said if we go fast enough, and I don't know, 20 miles down the road, I don't know where the processing plant was. I'm just guessing. It seemed like forever, but anyway, this pig, first he comes to the window and tries to get through the window, and he's about to bust the window out. So that, all that commotions was going on, and we ended up closing that. He's driving, and of course there's traffic that's honking and wanting to get around and all this kind of thing. So then the hog picks up the tire and got it on his snoot. And he picks up the tire. He's got the tire on his snoot, fixing to sail it out of there. And this car, there's this stupid young couple behind us. And so it's probably funny. Now back then, thank goodness they didn't have video cameras. They got up close to us. I don't get that. And I kept trying to motion to them to get up, come on around or get back. And they wouldn't go around. They just was enjoying the show. And at any time, that pig was going to throw that tire onto that car. I don't know what they were thinking. To this day, I think about those two idiots. They weren't laughing or anything. I thought, well, they're having a good laugh. They weren't laughing or anything. Their eyes were just big. They were. But he never did throw the tire out. He was having trouble with that. But I kept trying to control the pig again through the window. And I can't give you detail of everything I did and all that. But time we got to the slaughterhouse and backed up, we backed in, and they put it in. They let it come through this gate kind of thing. And of course, the hog ran right on through. And I remember getting out of the truck, coming around, sitting down on the front steps of that processing plant. And of course, I heard the shot go off because that's what they do. They shoot them in the head. And I sat there so stressed. Uh, I, my husband walks out at the time, sees me sitting on the steps, and I said to him, "Do they sell beer in there?" I said, "If they sell a beer in there, get me one. And I'm gonna sit right here and drink it. I don't drink beer." I said, "But if I had one, I would drink it." And I was so stressed out. Unbelievable. But I'll never forget that. Me trying to contain a big hog in the back of a pickup truck with a cage that looked like was the it was the worst cage I'd ever seen to keep an animal in. He said it don't matter. The hog will just think it's a cage and he won't try to bother it. No, he didn't. But it was a matter of time. He would have. I was just trying to keep him occupied with getting his attention. But reminds me of a time that I forget. I went to a lot of estate sales, and I normally don't go to estate sales out in the country because usually what they sell is stuff that's worn out, and they sell stuff that's sentimental to them, and they're gonna have an enormous price. And I'd buy a lot of stuff, and I'd bring it here, and I'd resell it in a carport sale, and I'd make my money back. I'd get my money back, plus I'd make more money on it. I had it going on, and I didn't do it a lot. You was only allowed 2 times here. The city only allows you to have a carport sale twice. So, and that's what I did. I really had, when I had one, I had a big one. And I'd make a couple of thousand off that, so I had a lot of stuff. And, but anyway, we went to one out in the country. And of course, it was like I said, it was a waste of time. But we came back and we got in behind this old pickup truck, these 2 guys. And they had a mule tied to the back of their pickup truck and was pulling the mule down the road. Well, the mule, needless to say, you know how mules will put their legs forward and they don't want to go anywhere? And he was being forced to walk. And it was rope around his neck, and that was, wasn't going to go there, and tied to the bumper of that truck. And it was the most hilarious thing. It was so hilarious. And there we were. We didn't want to go around either because, well, the mule wasn't going to fall on us or anything, but it was hilarious. And we were hoping that maybe we were pushing that mule, pushing him. And but that was so funny. That made my day. That was worth going out there. Well, anyway, that was the last pig I raised. It was good meat too. It was, and that's what I was looking at, that pork chops that I cooked yesterday. $6 for, it was 4. They were good. They came out good, and they tasted good. Um, but I'm thinking about how much meat I had, and I put in my freezer, and what I'm paying for a little bit of it now. So um, I even think I might have sold some of that hog too to somebody else, so they could. Of course, those meat packing plants now, you got to watch them folks. They'll take your hog and sell you the old hog when you come, like you're okay. It's been time. Yeah, I got it cut up. Come on. Yeah, it's ready to go. And you get there, and it's not even your hog. It's somebody else's. Some old hog that's been in there a while in their freezer. So, and got to watch them. They'll do that in a deer processing plant too. They'll give you old deer meat. Of course, I don't eat deer meat, but my husband does. But yeah, you got to watch them, And I told him, I said, well, I want my hog back. I want to come pick up my hog. I don't want to pick up somebody else's because I know what I fed that hog. I know where it's been. Anyway, that's the last hog I raised. And I thought, oh boy, after that, no way. I'm not going to ever do that again. My first hog wasn't that bad. Didn't let it get that big. And me and my husband just picked it up and put it in the pickup truck, and it had a cover on it. We closed it, and that was that. That pig didn't get away. I had one other experience of a pig out there in the country. I noticed that my places were rooted up, and my um, orchard. I had started a new little orchard in another place. It was all, you know, I thought, oh my gosh, they're going to eat that fruit roots and eat this tree down and just kill it. I don't know how many I had in there, different kinds of fruit trees. I would imagine maybe some of them might have survived. Had a lot of big old peach trees. I got up pretty big. But anyway, and I called and I said, I called my husband from work and I said, can you leave work? Can you come on home early? I said, there's a hog here. There's a hog. He's close. I mean, he's somewhere here close. And I really don't want to run into him. I didn't know that if he could be a wild one. There wasn't any wild hogs that I knew about around there. They hadn't. I know there's some that have really progressed through the United States now, but at the time they were only in like maybe Texas and a few places like that. They weren't down into um, the bottoms of Tennessee yet. But people were, maybe somebody was did what I did, tried to get a hog to market and it got loose and they hadn't got it back. And that's what I was thinking, that this was a neighbor's hog. Um, but anyway, he did come. He looked everywhere. He never did find it. Um, but anyhow, I had picked up these pellets and I painted them all white. And I made ended up, well, this orchard was small. Uh, it wasn't near as big as the one in the front I had up front. So all I would say is probably this room and that room together. Anyway, he put those pallets together, standing them up like a fence with posts, and even we had a gate and I had a thing going over. It was pretty cute, pretty nice. Anyway, I blocked off the hogs from and I planted a garden in there too. I already had a garden up front, but I made another garden. I planted around these fruit trees. And, but of course, deer could have jumped in there and they'll eat a fruit tree down in your garden too. But I didn't have a problem. The damage stopped, and that was that, after I'd put those pallets up. So, but yeah, then I never did. They must have got that hog and put him back in the pen, because I never did. It lasted about a week, and then I, uh, you know, knew I was going to be okay. But I left that farm, and it broke my heart. Got divorced. Came to Memphis, and I hated coming back to Memphis. I just hated the city. I hated the people. I hated everything about it. But I didn't have a choice, and I was alone, and I had 3 children. My story picked up from there. I raised my 3 kids. Um, my oldest girl, she was in high school, and the other 2 were behind that. They weren't. They were in elementary. They weren't. I think the distance between them. Let's see if I can remember all this. Maybe 5 years between my oldest and my next 2. My next 2 were one right after another, but my oldest one, there was some distance, and I stopped after 3. I was Catholic, very devout Catholic, and they were keep having them babies, keep having them babies. It's a sin to take control. And after the 3rd one, back to back, I was like, no, this is not good. I'm this is not what I grew up for. When you're young, you're thinking you're going to be this, you're going to be that. And that, no, I didn't want any babies, because I grew up having to take care of babies as a young girl. My mama didn't even want to put me in 1st grade, in kindergarten or whatever it was I went into, 1st grade, because she wanted to keep me at home to babysit. So I didn't want all these babies. I wanted the babies I had. I didn't want all the other babies that would have came. Oh, I probably could have had 15 children. But anyway, I stopped at 3 and started taking birth control. I thought, I love the Catholic religion. I think it's all the ceremonies and all the fanfare is nice and beautiful. And no. So, I won't go any further with that Catholic Church. So, right now, anyway, big story's enough. That coffee tastes kind of just right. Well, let's see. Oh, 35 minutes, y'all. Ewins. Ewins, it's 35 minutes. Okay, don't take it wrong. I love the people up there in them mountains. I love them people. I know a lot of people up there. So they're good hearted. They'll do anything for you. They'll give you their shirt off their back. They'll invite you in your home to their home. They'll feed you. They're very caring and loving people. So there. But I better go because I've talked a long time, and that's enough about pigs. So I'll close now, and I'll probably see y'all later with something. I'll figure something out, and if I don't, I'll see you tomorrow. So, but we still all cold, just like everybody else. We got snow on the ground. Hadn't snowed, but it's just cold. We look out the window and it's just white, and it's just frozen out there. And thank you very much about the compliments about the greenhouse. The only thing I can say that I did, I had it the first time I got it. I killed all my houseplants. Okay, then that next come around, I planted the most wonderful seedlings and plants in there. Oh, I just had more plants than ever. Every kind of plant you could think of for the garden. Loved it. And then this next go around, I didn't plant anything, and I really hated that because I didn't have enough. I had to go buy garden plants, and I didn't like paying $5, $6 a piece. Um, but the thing that I do is you got to watch a greenhouse. You got to watch it. You got to babysit it. You got to keep animals out of it. You got to keep them from tearing it up, the windows, and you got to keep ice or whatever it is off the top. You can't let leaves or anything that build up, and you can't water. People have a tendency to water too much. They water a greenhouse inside too much, and it rots everything. And when it gets cold, uh, if you see it dry, don't give it any water. Let it sit there dry like that. You can look at the plant and see where you're kind of teetering on. Yeah, I better put about a cup in there. Because what you're doing is if you water it and it's cold, but the room's warm, the room's warm, but that water's cold. And then as night goes on, that freezes, and that freezes your roots. It might not kill that plant that night, but it'll work at doing it. You have a thermometer in there so you can know the temperature. Learn what above your freezing point is. Like yesterday, or day before, mine was 45. That's above freezing. And I saw some of the plants were dry, but I'm like, no, no, no. It's going to get cold. It will have about 4 days of really like minus 4 degrees, 11 degrees, 19 in the daytime. I said, no, I'm not going to water them and then freeze the roots. So the whole thing is a greenhouse, you have to babysit it. You have to watch it. You have to look at your weather, look at the days. Today it's going to get up to 60. It's going to get up to 70. You got to go out there and turn that heater down or off, and then turn it on before the night comes. I don't mean right at night. You got to turn it on before so it'll start warming up. So you can't just buy one of them little plastic houses, stick it out there, and think that, I'm gonna come out there and it's gonna have orchids blooming all over the place. It might not. Speaking of that, I got one in there somewhere, and I'm waiting for it to shoot up with a flower. Say, hello, here I am. He's got to put him somewhere, maybe inside another pot. It did something. But anyway, thank y'all for those comments. I'm surprised as y'all are about the flowers. But anyway, I'll let y'all go. It's 40 minutes now, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.